Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to this week's video. In this week's video, we're going to look at something slightly different. We're going to be looking at actor components. An actor component is pretty useful actually. It's pretty cool. Essentially, what it is, it's a component which allows you to store variables, attributes. You can set up like little functions. Well, it doesn't have to be little, but you can set up functions in there to automate certain bits and pieces. And then the best thing is, really, you can then, because it's a component, you can add these onto existing blueprints or existing actors, and you can pre-make a large chunk of sort of functionality, and then just decide after which actors that it's going to be suitable for. So, for example, if we just create something simple here, I don't really have something in mind. I'm just going to sort of work through sort of an idea. So, right click, we go to Blueprint Class, and Actor Component is here. It's one of the common classes. You've also got Scene Component, which is very similar. However, we're going to pick Actor Component for today. Click on that, and I'm just going to call this AC underscore test. Why not? I'd probably give it more of an appropriate name when you get into it. Actually, let's call it stats. Something like that. Okay, and then if you've never used one before, you'll notice it's got this sort of like plugin type icon. I spent far too much time trying to explain what that is, but it's not really that important. But it's like an attachment. It attaches to other blueprints. Anyway, let's open up AC Stats. So when you first open it, you will get given this screen, and as you can see, it just looks like a blueprint screen. However, there's absolutely no variables, there's no functions, no macros. You've only been given the event begin, play, and tick by default. And also, if I go back to the class defaults, you can see that there's no functionality here built in. Now, what we can do though is let's say this is going to be like this component's going to control or sort of manage our stats for our character. So if we was to click on variable, and I just put a health, and then shield, and then stamina, and then ammo. Maybe not ammo, but we'll go for it. I'm going to change this to an integer, stamina to an integer. Or should I have those? I'll have health as a floor, shield as a floor, and to be fair, I'll put stamina as a floor too. Because these could be half values. Okay, one other thing, I'm just going to expose all of these. Absolutely for no reason whatsoever, but that'll do. Hit compile, and you can see now that we've got health, shield, stamina, and ammo. And then what we can do is you can then apply this. Let's go back to our main map. If you go to the first person character now, forget about all the blueprint. Now, I just want to explain a little bit about what the actor component is in a sense. So, if you can see on the side, there's not really because this is just a component on its own. It can't handle other things inside it. Whereas a blueprint is made up of several different components. A component itself can't handle more components. So in our first person character, we've got a collision component, we've got arrow component, we've got mesh component, camera component, and we've got a character movement component. All of these components combined together create this first person character with a gun, with a camera, and all that sort of stuff. So we're just adding all this together. And then as a result, our first person character now has the ability to jump, crouch, and take in controls, take in AI control, has the ability to collide with stuff, and that's all because it's made up of all these things. Now, one thing it doesn't have is statistics or stats, or like health and stuff like that. So if we go to add component now, and if we scroll down to, I think it's called custom. Have I gone past? I think I've gone past it. Yeah, here we go. On the right hand side now, our character or our AC stats component, similar to how the character movement controller has walk speed and stuff like that. Our AC stats now, we've got our health, which we can set to 100. Oh, not 1000. Our shield we can have as 25 by default. Stamina at the moment is defaulted to 100, and we're going to leave ammo at 0 just for now. Or should we set that to 10? Why not? So I've hit compile. I've got these default stats. Now, if I add this to anything else, everything else is going to get given these health, shield, and stamina and ammo. So this would be a really neat one to add to like enemies and stuff like that. But what you can do is you can tap into this now. So every time we fire, we want to be grabbing our AC stats. We want to be checking for get ammo. So now here's our ammo stat. I'm probably going to run out of space here, so let's try and make this a bit bigger. And so I'm going to squeeze that up a little bit. I'm not going to use touch, so I'm going to get rid of the touch just to give me a bit more space. So here's our ammo, and if the if the ammo is greater than 0, is true, can we fire? If it's not, let's make a clicking sound because we've run out of ammo. Every time we fire a shot, we want to get our AC stat and take out ammo. Ammo. And we're going to minus. Now, minus, there's a function called decrement int, and that literally just takes this ammo, minuses 1, and then resets it. So that's the same as doing a subtract 1 and then a set. Might just be a bit quicker for you though. So there you go. And for the thrill of it, should we just add in a print string? And pull it like that, just so we can see what our ammo is. So we can compile now and play. Every time we fire, just like that, we've added in ammo and a way to prevent us from continuing to shoot. If we wanted to, we could build out a function in our AC stats. So we've gone back to the AC stat now, and I'm going to add a function, and I'm going to call this, I've got to be careful how I word this, but I'm going to call it reload, and I'm going to get ammo and set it back to 10. I know it's very basic. You probably want something a bit neater. You could probably have something where when reload's called, it checks. Do a reload. And you can see, because this is a function, and because we've got this component added, reload is now an option. And that just literally pulls from the AC stats, and we've just made this. So let's press compile, let's press play. So, fire. I want to reload, press R. And now we've got no ammo, press R again, and now we can fire again. And that was all made by using this AC stat. So you could do somewhat more complicated things. I'm going to put this as adjust health. I want it to take in a float, and I also want it to take in an enum, but I've not made that yet, and I'll show you why. And if you've never used an enum before, this will be like a Brucey bonus for you, I guess. Right, so adjustment amount. So essentially this is just the amount that we're going to be changing our health by. Now this bottom one, before I can pick it, I need to create it. I'm going to go back to my first person example map. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to blueprints and then enumeration. I'm going to call this E and call this adjustment type. Open that up. Now, if you've never used an enumerator, essentially it's just a list of choosable options on a very basic scale. But I'm going to hit new twice, and I'm going to, because I'm going to have two options for what I want to do. I want to do add, addition, and subtraction. So I'm either going to add health or take health away. I've pressed save. I'm going to close that because I don't really need it anymore. I'm going to go back to my AC start, and then I'm going to select this node, this adjust health node, and just to clarify, we're inside this adjust health function, which is opened up here. I'm going to highlight this node once more, and then instead of this new param 1, I'm going to call this type, I guess, is really rough. And then we're going to change the type from float to enum, and then here e adjustment type, that's the one we've just created. You can see it goes to this slightly off green colour. Oh, sorry, I just attacked the mic there. And then with that, what we're going to do is we're going to switch. So if you type in switch, really the only option will be to switch on this type. And then what this is showing is, depending on the type that you've picked, which how you choose that, I'll clarify that in just a few minutes. But depending on the type of adjustment we want to do we add or do we subtract? So now what we can do is we can say we want to add. Oh, sorry, not from this. We want to drag our health in and we want to set. I'm going to press Control and W because we're in UE4, and I'm going to just duplicate that. I'm also going to get, I'm going to do add. And for this one, we're going to do a minus. And if we've got addition, we need to set this health. And if we've got subtraction, we need to set this health. And how do I do this without it looking terrible? You know what, I'm going to have to apologise and try not making it look pretty. But we want to set this adjustment type. And we want to plug this into the bottom one. Just pull that down just a little bit. I'm trying to make it look pretty, but I shouldn't care. And then we want to plug health into the top. And plug that in. So, based on the type, we're going to get the adjustment amount. We're either going to get our health and add it to it, or we're going to get our health and take it away, and then reset it. Hit compile. Now, inside our first person character, if we do an event, any damage. Now, if you've never used this, again, event any damage it receives input every time this actor takes damage, as the sort of card suggests there. So, whenever we've taken damage, we want to adjust our health. So by typing in adjust, it comes up. How much do we want to adjust by? That much. And then because it's damage, what type of adjustment do we want to make? We want to subtract. So because here I've picked subtraction, when we call this adjust health, what's going to happen is it's going to go into here and it's going to go, right, they've picked subtraction. So take this adjustment amount, this damage amount, get our health, take it off, and then reset it. So now you've got a health adjustment. Now, that's all great. You can build this out. Health is just an example. Health, shield, and stamina is just an example. You can put all sorts of things in here. You know, you've got all sorts of options to work with. You can make macros. You can do all sorts of stuff. But one of the main benefits of that is, let's say, for example, you add this starter kit. What have we called this? And there we go, that one. Add that to project. Okay, so I've just added the animation starter pack purely because it comes with another blueprint, a third person blueprint. So I'm going to chuck that over there and I'm going to rotate it. Now, this guy by default doesn't have any health. There's no health. There's no variables for health or anything like that. So, what we're going to do... Why has that got an error? Let's just delete that. There we go. This character doesn't have any health at the moment, so if we add a component and scroll down to our custom AC stats and bring that in, our character has now suddenly got health. So we can have set that to 50, we can have 0 shield, no stamina, no ammo, doesn't matter. And then with AC stats, what we can do is get health. Oh, I need to drag that in, sorry. Drag that in. Get health. And say, you know, if it's less than or equal to 0 is that'd be branch. Ooh. Sorry, my mic's really in a weird place. It always is. It's always in the same weird place. If that's true, we want to destroy. So don't use a tick, but let's say, oh well, I'll tell you what. Event any damage. Event any damage. Every time you receive damage, check to see if the health is less than or equal to 0. If it is, destroy the actor. And you've used this AC stats once again. Now, what you could do as well, because you know that your characters have this AC stat, what you could do is, let's say the damage causer. Let's say my first person character is the damage causer. Cast to character. So I've gone for character because we don't know in advance that it's going to be first person character that's going to do it. So if you've ever done casts and you're on a single player game, typically here you would be able to cast to first person character because you know I'm playing as a first person character. Anyway, with a character you're generalizing. So this is made from a character component. This UE4 ASP is made from a character component. If we get hit by a character, which is a good chance, do something. From this we can get the AC get component by class, AC stat, and then we can tap in, and let's say every time we do that we get the health, or even better we can adjust the health, a subtraction by 50. So this is a really weird scenario. Let me delete that. This is a really weird scenario. Every time I take damage, whichever character damages me, I'm going to get the AC stats class and I'm going to tap into that and I'm going to deduct their own health. So if I attempt to damage this character now, it's going to take 50 health off me. So it's almost like a vampire type stat. Actually, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm starting to waffle on a little bit here now. Yeah, I think this video is probably more of an introduction to actor components. What I'll do is I'll probably get some solid use case or a couple of examples put together. Either way, though, I hope this was of some use to you. It's more of like I said, just a bit of an insight into actor components, just to make some people aware that they exist. I don't use them all that often, but I probably underuse them. There are probably things that I do where actor components would be better suited just for long term. The good thing is if you've got a long game being built, you can build one actor. There's nothing stopping you. You can add tons of these to any blueprint. So you can almost build out certain functionality and just add them onto the blueprints or characters that they apply to. Anyway, I don't want to get into too much again. I hope I hope I shared enough here for this video to be useful. Like I said, I will build on it at some point. If there's something you want me to cover more, or if there's something that wasn't clear that you just want me to like sort of clear up, please leave a comment down below. If you want to suggest anything else, also leave a comment down below. Or if there's anything else you just want to say, leave a comment down below. Alternatively, you can contact me in Discord. My social media link is just down below in the description. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. If it did help, consider subscribing. And with all that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.